Councillor Henderson.
My question was: is this committee, is our committee, able to commit the road safety capital budget to some? Do we have that authority?
I think, in essence, well, it's a good question, but in essence, the addendum, as far as I'm concerned, I've been assured that the crossing is going to be ready, and that the procedure would be to refund the money. So, if that didn't happen, so although I have to say I don't have the answer on the committing to capital expenditure, but sorry, yeah, okay, thanks.
Effectively, the work's out to tender at the moment. We fully expect the work to happen in August. We have until December to spend the money. If at any stage there's an unforeseen delay and it looks like it won't be delivered by December, the first thing we would do is write to the developer and ask them for permission to extend the funding window. There's been quite a few examples in the past of developers agreeing to that. It's obviously voluntary, but they can do it. If we were in a situation where they didn't agree to do that, we would then fund out of the road safety budget, because we have a block budget and we have this discretionary what we spend that on. So it will be delivered. It might also be useful for you just to know that we have a citywide bit of work just starting to look at 40-mile-per-hour limits throughout the city, with a view to potentially reducing 40-mile-per-hour roads to 30 miles per hour, which obviously would affect Buckstone Terrace as well, potentially.
Well, and that would be good as well, eh? Lines of support.
Right, okay. Councillor Arthur, can you make it very brief? I'm going to comment.
So the original point I was going to make is, even since I've been elected, there has been quite a few assurances about when this is going to be installed. I mean, I could have been cheeky and went through all the dates that have been given. I mean, the reason we've got this report today, the only reason this report was agreed to, because it was believed that the pedestrian crossing would be installed by now, and so this report wouldn't have to happen. That's the only reason we've got this report. So I think we have to be quite clear about that. On the A702, perhaps going from 40 to 30, when we're doing that, we're also going to look at wider road safety, or is it just purely going to be the limits? What I'm thinking about making it safer for pedestrians, perhaps also cyclists, and also looking at parking issues along that road as well at the same time, or is it purely just going to look at the speed limit?
Stan Shanty to briefly comment on that, because we're talking about the crossing here. Maybe we have to have some other report to do with the speeding, but if you just comment on it briefly.
Very briefly, that commitment in the 40 miles per hour speed limits, it's an LTS policy, and it's specifically looking at reductions in speeds. It does mention the possibility of looking at physical measures to try and make those reduced speed limits more self-enforcing. But obviously, the more you expand the scope of the work, the more it's going to cost, which potentially then means you have to phase the introduction over a much longer period. So there's a bit of a trade-off between, do you do it with minimal changes and get the speed limit reduced first, or do you try and do other things and potentially put back the timescale for reducing the speed limit on the road considerably? We're at very early stages. We've just started looking at that bit of work now, so I can't be too exact.
Can we leave that at that? And